When was the last time you ordered Crust Pizza? Not out of convenience, but because you actually craved it. If you're like most Aussies, Crust Pizza used to be your go-to when you wanted something a bit nicer than Domino's or Pizza Hut. It was the fancy option, the pizza you got when you were feeling a little bougie. But lately, Crust has kind of disappeared from the conversation. Despite being the third biggest pizza chain in Australia, it's struggling to stay relevant in a market dominated by budget deals, fast delivery, and app-based convenience. Meanwhile, Domino's is rolling out AI-powered delivery systems and $7 pizzas, and Pizza Hut somehow is staging a comeback. So what happened? Did Crust Pizza price itself out of the game, or is there something deeper going on here? A slow burn collapse caused by outdated strategy, franchise drama, and an identity crisis. To get why Crust is stuck in third gear, we've got to roll it back to where it all began. Crust Pizza launched in 2001 in the Sydney suburb of Annandale with one big idea: bring gourmet pizza to the masses. And back then, that was actually a pretty radical concept. Your options were greasy value deals or giant family boxes with crusts like soggy toast. Crust Pizza flipped the script. They came in hot with pulled pork, Moroccan lamb, truffle aioli, and vegan cheese before it was even cool. This wasn't the pizza you grabbed because you were too tired to cook. It was pizza you'd show off to your mates. It was the kind of takeaway you didn't feel ashamed to post on social media. And for a while, that strategy worked like a charm. Throughout the 2000s, Crust exploded across Australia. People were hungry for something better, literally, and Crust filled that gap. It looked premium, tasted different, and felt like a step up from the usual suspects. By 2012, the chain had over 100 stores and was grabbing serious market share. That's when Retail Food Group, or RFG, stepped in and bought them out. Now, RFG is a big player in the franchising world. They also own Gloria Jeans, Donut King, and a bunch of other food court classics. On paper, the move made sense. Combine Crust's brand with RFG's scale and boom, next level growth. But that's not exactly how it played out. Behind the scenes, RFG was making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Investigations by the Sydney Morning Herald uncovered serious issues across their franchise empire. And yep, Crust was caught in the mess. Franchisees were reportedly paying massive fees, stuck in bad contracts, and receiving minimal support. Some store owners were working full-time but were still struggling to stay afloat. And when the people running your stores are overworked and underpaid, the quality starts to slip. Suddenly, that gourmet experience starts feeling a lot less gourmet. And Crust couldn't afford to let the quality slip. Unlike Domino's or Pizza Hut, Crust wasn't competing on price, it was competing on vibe. A single large pizza could run you $25 to $30 before delivery fees. That was the entire pitch. Pay more, get better. But once the service got patchy and the pizza wasn't consistently amazing, customers started asking the obvious question: why am I paying this much again? And while Crust was struggling to hold its premium image together, Domino's was out here doing a full-on glow-up. They weren't just improving the pizza, they were becoming a tech company that also made food. GPS tracking, AI ordering, delivery bots, smart ovens, and an app that actually works. And all the while, they were pushing out meal deals that made Crust look wildly overpriced. Domino's figured out how to offer pizza that is good enough while making it fast, cheap, and convenient. Meanwhile, Crust was offering sometimes good pizza for triple the price with a buggy app and no tracking. That digital gap turned into a canyon. The way Aussies order food has changed massively in the last 10 years. We're living in a world of instant everything. Uber Eats, DoorDash, one-click reordering, and real-time delivery maps. Domino's invested early and heavily in that world, while Crust didn't. Their app lagged behind in design and performance. There wasn't much of a loyalty program, delivery times were inconsistent. And when you're charging luxury prices in a convenience-driven market, clunky tech is a deal breaker. All of this added up to one major issue. Crust started losing its sense of identity. It was no longer the go-to gourmet choice, but it wasn't the budget-friendly option either. It existed in this awkward middle ground, not cheap enough to compete on value, not slick enough to compete on convenience, and not bold enough to lead in quality. That's not a sweet spot, that's a slow fade into irrelevance. And while Crust was spinning its wheels, the competition kept moving. Domino's doubled down on innovation. Pizza Hut, yes, Pizza Hut, launched new menu items, tapped into nostalgia, and improved their tech stack too. Even smaller, independent pizza shops started catching Crust's old audience. You know the type: sourdough crusts, smoked meats, house-made chili oil, and vegan options that taste suspiciously good. These places started dominating Instagram, popping up on delivery platforms, and building cult followings in local areas. Crust used to own that cool gourmet lane, but now it's crowded, and Crust is kind of stuck behind a traffic jam of trendier, hungrier players. So, what does Crust need to do to get back in the game? Is there even a way forward? The short answer is yes, but it's going to take some serious reinvention. First, Crust needs to figure out what it actually wants to be. It can't afford to sit in the middle anymore. Either fully commit to the gourmet lane and own it, or pivot towards smart value, fast casual with a stronger tech backbone. Right now, the brand feels like it's trying to do both and nailing neither. Second, Crust has to reinvest in its tech and customer experience. That means a killer app, clean UX, personalized deals, and real-time delivery. It's not optional anymore, it's the baseline. Domino's customers can track their driver down the street. Crust customers are still refreshing their inbox for a confirmation email. That gap, it's a total vibe killer. Third, Crust needs to get sharper with its pricing strategy. Not cheaper, just smarter. Give us combo deals that make sense. Reward loyalty with actual perks. Create value without cutting corners. People will still spend more if they feel they're getting something extra, whether that's better toppings, better service, or a better story. And that leads to the biggest piece of the puzzle: storytelling. Crust used to stand for something, which is being the alternative, the pizza with personality. But that voice has gone quiet. It's time to bring it back. Lean into the foodie culture again. Embrace specialty diets. Highlight ethical sourcing. Get weird with limited edition drops. Show up on TikTok. Do something that makes people talk about Crust again. Because right now, no one really is. And finally, RFG has to clean up the back end. Franchisees are the face of the business. If they're stressed out and broke, the stores will reflect that. Invest in them, support them, streamline operations. Give them the tools to run great stores, not just meet quotas. A healthy franchise network creates better food, better service, and way better customer loyalty. Crust Pizza isn't doomed. It still has brand recognition, decent locations, and the bones of a great idea. But it can't keep running on nostalgia and high margins. Domino's is playing chess with robots. Pizza Hut is back from the dead. Indie joints are pulling in the foodie crowd, and customers, they've got more choices than ever. So, if Crust wants to rise again, it needs to level up. And they have to do it fast, because in this market, you're either hot out of the oven or you're yesterday's leftovers. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this story, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss out on more deep dives like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay curious.